Hello and welcome to another F-Word podcast. I'm that Kimberly, and today we're going to be speaking about all things fraud. So wherever you're listening or watching, make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, all the things so you get the notifications for the next episode. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments because we'll get to it after this. So without further ado, welcome my guest, Jenny Maldonado.
Hello.
Hello, Jenny, and welcome. I appreciate you joining us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your history and how long you've been in the industry.
Sure. Well, I work for Aria Residential, and I'm the senior property manager for a new lease-up called The Florian here in Washington, D.C. I've been in the business for 21 years now. It's been quite a journey. It's taken me to several different states. So started in Virginia, ended up in New Jersey for about 9 years, and back in DC. Gosh, I've worked in DC now for 5 years. So it's been a fun ride. It has. And, oh, yeah.
So have you always been an ApproveShield client?
We haven't, no. This was something that we decided to join you guys, and I guess it was probably it was sometime earlier this summer, and we had a massive amount of lease applications to process, and we needed to find a better way, and so we found ApproveShield.
So was your property experience a lot of fraud?
No, what we're looking for was to make the the service a little bit more streamlined. We were doing a lot of things manually. And it was important to us to make sure that we took the responsibility off of the property completely, 100%. And
liabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. And so ApproveShield does that. And so that, and also the quickness of how fast you guys process applications was super helpful, because the applications were just rolling in, and we were trying to keep up with them. Then ApproveShield allowed us to do that with their Turbo Fast Track service. So,
Tell me a little bit about TurboTrack.
Okay, sure. So, like I said, we had a lot of applications that came in. Oh my goodness, we had 52 move-ins in 1 month alone. That was just move-ins, let alone the applications we had. So, people really want quick results. You know, it's a lot of instant gratification now these days, and we wanted to make sure that we were moving as fast as we could so we can get answers to all the applicants who were waiting. And so going with ApproveShield allowed us to do that, and sped up the process, got answers faster, did the whole process from start to finish, and we've been very pleased with it. So we've continued with the TurboTrack even after our fast, our intense summer season, just because it's such a wonderful feature to have, because we're able to get the answers quickly to our applicants.
So instead of 3 to 5 days, it only takes 1.
Some people, yes. With using ApproveShield, I learned is that the quickness and the speed in which you get the results are really determined by how fast the applicants are ready to upload, say, their IDs or their proof of income. So it takes the responsibility kind of off of us to process it quickly. And it really kind of puts it back onto the applicant to say, hey, if you want this quickly, you have to make sure that you're uploading the documents in a timely manner. So we do have conversations with our applicants during, while we're touring them. And, we explain the process to them so they would know what to expect. And the really awesome thing about ApproveShield is that as soon as somebody applies, they get a phone call, an email, and a text message. It's like instant. And it's like, wow, the communication's amazing. So that's helped us a lot. So in some situations, yes, we've actually had an application turn around in 1 day because the applicant was on top of it. But then we've had other people that it has, taken some extra time, maybe because the results came back and they needed a guarantor. So now we've got to screen another person. And it's not that the first person took a long time. It's just that the whole process from start to finish is a little bit longer because they didn't add that guarantor at the very beginning. So again, a lot of this is kind of in the control of the applicant, which is fantastic. So if they want it done quickly, they can make that happen. And if they're not as pressed on it, then, at their convenience, they can upload the documents, but it still is a rather quick service. But comparing the standard service to TurboTrack, it's very evident difference in timing. It's been fantastic. So I'd say it's been about 1 to 3 days for the TurboTrack. It's been about that, and on average, and as short as 1 day.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that there is a guarantee, so if anybody is unhappy, we make it right.
That is absolutely right. We love that too.
I definitely laugh at those that say it takes too long, because it's not that it takes too long. It's about the applicant not being diligent about getting their paperwork back to us.
Yeah, sometimes it does, but and other times when they are ready to apply and they have all their documents in place, it is so fast it'll make your head spin. It's just like, wow, already? We just submitted the application yesterday and it's already come back today? It's like, wow, now that's what I talk about. That's fast. That's really fast. That's almost instant gratification right there.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So in your 22 years of being in the business, what kind of fraud have you seen? I know that in the last 10 years, because that's how long we've been around, 10 years, that our founders saw a need for the application process to be taken off the on-site team's hands. So it also mitigates the responsibility of them doing anything wrong.
Taking the responsibility off of the team here, we do that because we want to make sure that everyone is satisfied, everything is fair, and so we take the responsibility off the team and give it to ApproveShield, and you handle it from start to finish. So there's no need for the applicant to really call us or get assistance with the application process, because ApproveShield provides that assistance, that customer service, and they look at it as a neutral party. And so there's no opinions, there's no made from anyone from the leasing office, which is extremely important these days. And to kind of just speak about fraud kind of overall, at one point I did work in DC for about 4 years, and I left and went to Northern Virginia. I have to say it wasn't as much in Northern Virginia than I have experienced here in DC. I don't know if it's just the area, the demographics, or what. I really don't know why, but I guess just in a city, it tends to be a little more prevalent than out in like more suburban areas. So I have, just as a general overall, I have seen a lot of fraud happening. But that's really why we have you guys, is to, screen everyone and give everyone a fair shot. And yeah, I understand that's kind of more of your wheelhouse, to be honest with you. You're the ones catching it, not me. And that's why we hired you guys. And it's just been a wonderful experience for us so much. So
coming along this mitigation train, and we're taking responsibilities off the on-site team.
Absolutely. That's really important to us. Mm-hmm.
So what have you learned about being in multifamily?
For me, it's really learning that you have to wear many, many hats. And not one of them is more important than the other. Because what it really comes down to is the love. What it really comes down to is the love of creating a community that residents are really proud to call home. That's really what we desire. And so wearing many hats is important, because when you're dealing with so many people, everybody has different concerns and questions, and they need assistance. And, we're here to make their lives easier here at the Florian, and so I've learned a lot throughout the years. That's for sure. Being organized is extremely important. I found, because you can't let things slip through the cracks, because everything that's brought to your plate, like I said before, has so much importance, from, curb appeal, the trash in their streets, or maintenance work order, or questions that they have about their ledgers, or a package that they're missing, or just building that community of knowing their dogs' names, and taking 5 minutes in the day and just talking to the residents and getting to know them. Because when you spend your time, they feel that they're important, because they are important to us, and we want them to feel that way. So taking our time to just talk with people sometimes makes a big difference in their lives. Smiling when they come home. But it also,
and knowing their names,
but it also goes all the way through the process of like the renewal process or the application process. Everything is, like I always say, first impressions always last. So the very first impression, number one, is coming into our building and getting a tour. And then the second one is their application process. How easy is it for them? We're here to make their lives easier. So, and that goes, there's so many different facets in this industry that we have to really address and give importance to it. So the screening process, making sure their moving is good, good experiences from start to hopefully never finishing. We don't want them to ever leave. But that's really what is super important to us, and being in this industry, it's a service industry. And so we're here to serve our residents. But also what I've kind of learned along the years is I'm not here just to serve the residents. I'm also here to serve my employees as well. I am here to make sure that I provide the support that they need, and I give them the tools to succeed. And when I do that, then they can provide the service to our residents as well. So it's a trickle effect, It's a full circle. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So what advice would you give to your younger self with that said?
At first, I took a lot of things personal. I was so young in the business. I kind of grew up in it. I started with leasing, moved on to assistant manager, property manager. At one point I had 5 properties under my belt. It's been a long run. It's been fun. But I took a lot of things very personal at the very beginning. And I understand it's just people who were unhappy with maybe what the policies are, or maybe they were unhappy with the way I delivered it. So delivery is super important. As I always say, it's not what you say, but the way you say it. Very important. Jenny learned that one. But the other thing too is there's more than one way to approach something. And I found that at the very beginning, I would say I was a little rigid. I was a bit rigid. And as I've gone through the years, I've realized, like I just said, there's more ways to approach something than just one way. And I kind of softened up a little bit and understood that. And there's different ways to approach it. So I do. And it has helped not just me in my career, but it helps those on the other end of it, receiving it as well, which also lends again to better customer service. So again, service industry, everything's about that.
Service is key. If you don't have happy residents in the beginning, they're not going to stay. Any experience has to be a good one, or at least the best that you can provide. And that's also with not taking anything personally. That's good.
Exactly. Yeah. And too, I found a lot of times it's like, I always wanted to just fix everything. It's like, you got a problem, I'm going to fix it for you. I'll figure it out. Sometimes they just want someone to talk to and they want to be heard. So I've learned that sometimes you just need to close my lips and just listen. And that's it. And sometimes that's a key too, to a happy resident as well. So I've learned a lot, not just one thing. There's a lot of advice that I'd give my younger self. And I wish somebody would have told me that when I was younger, but I was so focused on learning the job and doing well. And sometimes I kind of missed those key points. So I've learned a lot.
It's all about the cycle of life. We look back once we get to a certain point in our profession and then we go, oh, that's what they meant. Or I wish I knew that. That's how I felt.
Absolutely. Light bulbs go off, don't they?
All kinds of light bulbs go off until you go through the experience. Then you can look back and see, okay, that's why this happened. And it helps to not take things personally, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
experience matters.
It does.
It helps.
For sure. And it helps you not take things personal.
Hey! I've done much better at that now. So I'm like, I understand they're upset. They're not mad at me. They're just upset. So I'm here to listen. Yeah. And I'll try my best to, to help them through the process. And whatever I can do to help, I will. Because, with ARIA Residential, that's what we're about. We're about service. We're about customer service and providing a home that people want to come home to and be proud of, and they want to bring other people with them. Referrals are the best marketing source possible. So,
Yes.
Yes, and not expensive.
Correct. 100% correct there.
So why would you tell someone to use ApproveShield?
Okay. Well, the folks who work there are just fantastic. I have not had a bad experience at all. I mean, everybody has been super helpful, and they are readily available. The screening portal that we accessed, to see all the screening results and stuff, it allows our leasing team to communicate directly with the person who's completing the application or the screening of the application, which has been extremely helpful. Because usually you don't get that kind of like personal one-on-one service. And with ApproveShield, I do. And we love everyone getting exceptional service at the Florian. So in ApproveShield, you guys have been proven to be the best in the industry. I mean, like I said before, you guys handle everything from start to finish. So, and the applicants, they're given the contact information as well to the person who's screening their application. So there's no need for them to call the leasing office for assistance. They have a phone number and email at their fingertips, and they can speak directly to that person. We're just a phone call away. That's it. It's been fantastic. It protects their privacy as well, because the team's not involved in their background, so it protects them as an applicant. So we want to make sure they feel protected and taken care of, and ApproveShield has assisted in that immensely.
That's awesome. And we also handle all the disputes. So if anybody is denied, the on-site team doesn't have to worry about that. We handle it.
I love it. It's music to my ears. Yes. They go to you. They come to us when they move in. They go to you for the processing. But yeah, it's been a really great experience. And, when I was approached about talking, to you about this, I'm like, absolutely. I love ApproveShield. I love you guys. You make my life easier. All of us in the office, it makes it so much easier. And I'm just grateful for that.
That's awesome. I've heard a lot about what it was like before ApproveShield. And then when they get ApproveShield, the on-site team's morale goes up. The team feels better. They're not stressed out. And nobody is playing favorites. And nobody gets their feelings hurt, right? Everything's handled legally by the regulations that we abide by.
Going from the old process to, to working with ApproveShield, the transition team handled us step by step. It was a really easy transition. And Niobe, who was kind of more of our account manager, she has been so readily available, setting up appointments, to have conversations about applications, we may have questions on. It's just the level of service that you guys provide. I've never experienced, and I'm honestly, in 21 years in this business, I've never experienced that level of service that you've provided. And the transition team was fantastic with that, made it seamless.
That's awesome. I hear a lot of that, but it's always great to hear. And everybody at ApproveShield is definitely on the same page about customer service. You never have to worry about somebody not picking up the phone. And there not being a solution to your problem, because that's definitely how our team is trained. We pride ourselves in our training programs for our analysts, and it's definitely something that is the top priority, customer service.
They're very thorough, great communication. I mean, there's really nothing bad I can say. Everything has been a good experience. And at one point my company was deciding to use you guys maybe just during the summer months where it was like so intense. And maybe we, back off or something when it's been the slow season. And we were like, no, we love ApproveShield. You cannot. It's like giving a child candy and then taking it away from us. It's like, you can't do that. Sorry, you are stuck with us.
And it's like having an extra person that you don't have to pay for.
Exactly. They're just, in a remote office somewhere who's processing our applications. It's been, like I said, the communication's been great. And that is super important in this type of business is communication. But it's also just being thorough and make sure you check all your boxes to make sure that the people coming in here are the, folks that are serious and true and we were just so happy to have them come in here and fill up our wonderful building on the floor. And so we're excited to reach our stabilization.
When you have happy residents, it flows throughout the community. Usually fraudsters don't care about the property, so they're making noise, having parties, they're just doing all kinds of things that are not very nice that upset their neighbors.
You're absolutely right. It trickles down to just so many different issues that and delinquency too. That's a big one. For our owners, we don't want that delinquency on our books. So it's really important that the service that you guys provide covers the identities, the photo IDs, confirming their proof of income is legit. They have enough money, obviously, to cover the rent, and you do the background checks. So you guys and rental history checks. You guys do it all.
Yeah.
Literally, you do it all. Everything. So once we get that application, it's out of our hands and it's on to ApproveShield. And you guys are you're right. It's kind of like a remote leasing office that does all of our processing for us. And I don't have another employee here on site. I don't have another desk anyway, so I can't put them in here. But yeah, we have a really great team working on our applications.
We are super happy that you're happy and that everything has been going well, and that you know that if something is not, that you can reach out to us and we're going to make it right. So I really appreciate you letting me interview you, and I appreciate the audience for listening and watching. Again, follow, like, subscribe so that you're able to hear the next episode drop. But until then, thank you, Jenny, so much for your time, and we'll see you all next time.
Thanks for having me. Bye now.